एक्साइटमेंट बढ़ा ले थोड़ा.
Hi guys, so welcome to yet another episode of Paddle Sweep. We are almost at the midway of the tournament. We have had 4 weeks, 4 very exciting weeks of the IPL, and there have been players who have seen transformations like never before. I've seen there's a certain LSG captain who plays Test cricket in T20. So Ajinkya Rahane started playing T20. Primary Test player seeing hit. We are seeing a primary Test player hit runs in T20, which is like a pure
Hmm.
surprise, but like the way he's hitting it, I don't think there are many better who can do it right now. So our primary focus in today's podcast would be on two players from the CSK middle order who have absolutely transformed that CSK team. And quite naturally, we have seen a lot of players under Dhoni's captaincy who a lot of people regard as not that great players, but as soon as they wear yellow, they start playing like anybody in the world. So I think the
Yeah.
first man in the picture over here is Ajinkya Rahane. What have you made of his performance, Shali?
Well, I think I've always considered him as a batsman with a silken touch. The kind of shots he plays, the kind of balance he has while playing those shots is amazing. But at the same time, you don't expect a 35-year-old who's now almost out of the Test squad to kind of just go out there and hit runs, and not just in one or two matches. He has looked good in every innings he has played till now. He has been so good that I would say he is arguably the best batsman in IPL in the past couple. He has been the best batsman in IPL in the past couple of weeks. He scores runs all over the park. He has the traditional drives. He scores awesome pull shots on the leg side. He looks to go after the bowlers very early on in this in his innings. And yesterday, I mean not yesterday, but like if you see his last innings, he started playing Rams. He played a scoop. So I don't know what's happening with Rahane. How has he kind of, I mean, after looking at Rahane, I'm kind of wondering, or maybe Cheteshwar Pujara is wondering if there is still scope for his T20 career. And when
Very,
a
very
player like Rahane,
surprising. Very, very surprising. I'm
yeah,
totally unrecognizable. I think, and that too, like, even if someone would have said, I would have expected Rahane to open the innings, make use of the power play,
hmm,
but he comes in at
yeah,
number
exactly.
nine after 9 overs and 10 overs and does things like that. It's like it's so good for the game. And to be honest, I've been a big
Yeah,
Ajinkya Rahane fan. I considered
yeah.
him in terms of Test
Everyone
cricket
says that now.
at par at par with a certain Virat Kohli in terms of Test cricket. But
Yeah.
he was there, and his form was not that great. He was dropped correctly, is what I feel. But to see him
Hmm.
perform this well, it's like a blessing in disguise. He is one of those players, as you mentioned, right? He hits it through the line, like hitting it through the
Yeah,
line.
exactly.
Amazing, like, and that to proper cricketing shots. And even the Rams look classy. It's not like any like left, right, and just moving here and there and just scooping it over. It's so classy to see
Bowlers
this guy
are
perform.
afraid. Bowlers are afraid to bowl to him because if you bowl into his body, he has a tremendous leg side play. He'll flick it, he'll pull it. If you bowl away from his body on the offside, he has those drives. If you bowl too full, he can go over the top, just loft the ball over the bowler's head. If you bowl the in between length, he has a he can play backward of square on the offside. So I mean, when a player like Rahane is in form, you have basically nowhere to bowl except probably a Yorker. That is kind of the only option uh, bowlers have at the moment. And I would so love for Rahane to kind of, I don't know, finish a couple of innings. Like he was there in the last match and he was
Yeah.
playing well, but in the last over, he didn't actually get to play face any ball.
Yeah.
But I would love for him to destroy someone like Jofra Archer or I don't know, play a good innings against someone like all these new bowlers,
Kagiso, Rabada,
Jofra,
Markwood. Yeah.
Rabada, Ellis, Mark Wood. I mean, I'm so excited if he kind of faces Mark Wood and just drives him all on the offside every delivery. That would be the top of Ajinkya Rahane's play, I think. Um, I would say another player who has kind of really come into his own in this IPL, or saw glimpses of that in the previous season as well, as Shivam Dube. Did you
Big fan.
expect him to kind of perform the way he is performing?
I think I'm a very big fan of Shivam Dube. I think he is someone, whom I have trusted a lot in terms of, my Dream 11 picks, and he has won me a lot of matches on Dream 11, because he's someone who a lot of not a lot of people keep in their teams, and somehow I feel
Hmm.
that he has that instinctively and naturally to hit the ball, and he hits the ball like really hard. Like if you see him hitting, like he has that Yuvraj Singh type high backlift, and he, even if it touches
Yeah,
the ball, it just goes out of the park. So I'm a big fan. I think with a lefty in there in the a hard hitting lefty in that number 4 position. That is also
yeah,
very new for Shivam Dube, because a player like Shivam Dube has always been he has often been seen as a finisher, but he has been given at number 4. So he comes at number 4, even if it's 30 for 2, 40 for 2, like even after the 6th over, even after the 14th over. So I think it's a added
yeah.
responsibility, and he's been playing that really well this season. And to add to it, I think Conway has been terrific, but I don't think Gaikwad has reached the numbers that he had posted last season. But Rahane and Dube have more
They
than
have kind
covered
of
for it.
made up for those.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
than covered for it. I think
Hmm.
nobody, even the CSK optimistic fans, wouldn't have expected Rahane to get a few games, let alone play like this.
And that being said, someone like a Raidu or
Hmm.
even Dhoni, if he's exposed too early, we aren't really sure how they are going to turn up. They haven't had to,
Yeah,
stabilize the innings or build momentum, so to say. Moin Ali, fine. He can probably produce a good knock
yeah,
every now and then, but these two have kind of shouldered the middle order in that regard. That the weaknesses, potential weaknesses, if I mean Dhoni has looked good, but if he comes out to bat in the 12th, 13th over, it'll be a completely different story. So they have kind of covered up for all of that. But I mean, you have to somehow give credit to Dhoni. I mean, on one side there is Rahane, who's probably you don't really expect anything from him in T20 format. If he fails, if he's out, no one would be surprised. And then on the other hand, you have Dube, who, as you mentioned, has a tremendous backlift. He has had comparisons with Yuvraj Singh in the past. He has played a couple of knocks to kind of justify his talent. But someone like that who is that inconsistent and doesn't look all that confident when he's out in the middle, for these two to kind of play their best cricket, I would say Rahane at his best. He's probably had a
exactly.
couple of
Yeah.
really good seasons before this, but
Hmm.
never looked this destructive. And for Duve to be consistent enough, what do you think happens in CSK? How do players somehow magically end up performing under Mahendra Singh Dhoni?
Absolutely no idea. I've seen, like, they call them the dad's army, and they went on and won the IPL that
Yeah,
season. Watson, a
yeah.
36-year-old Watson, scoring a century in the final. We saw Watson struggle the
With
previous
a
year with
bruised
RCB.
knee, with a bruised knee.
We saw him struggle the
Yeah.
previous season with RCB, and
Hmm.
he just went in there and scored a century in the final. Like, century in T20 cricket
Yeah.
is a big feat, and that too in the final is an more than an unbelievable feat. So I think Ashish Nehra got a call up in the Indian team after playing for CSK. So there's something which goes on in there under Dhoni's captaincy, that see people performing well
Hmm.
above their limits. I think I'm not sure whether Rahane or Dube might come to the Indian team, but whatever they are doing for that team in yellow, right? I do feel that
Yeah.
they are doing more than enough to actually see them cross over the line.
Hmm. True. I think CSK, apart from Rahane and Dube, also, I mean, every year we see that CSK kind of loses Deepak Chahar. They don't have any other international. And somehow these new bowlers would turn up and start taking up the responsibility. Last year you had Mukesh Chaudhary and Simranjeet Singh. This year you have Akash Singh and Pathirana and even Tushar Deshpande. So you have to kind of give credit to Dhoni.
Hmm.
I think Dhoni. even CSK's bowling kind of deserves a video on its own. So we'll probably be covering that for in that video. But for
Hmm.
now, I would say Rahane Dube is shining really bright at the moment, and even Rahane looks promising. So yeah, good for CSK, I would say.
Totally surprising, but amazing for the audience as well. Super entertainment.
Yeah.